This is the simple trick for women to really up-level their makeup game for every day if you want to. If you don't want to go and get lash extensions, if you want an alternative, if you really want to just feel just glamorous and beautiful, and then you're like, you know what, I can take them off. Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. So this lash trick was made for women over 50. It is incredible. I'm just showing you the eyes. I'm showing you all my tricks when it comes to this. Are you ready? Let's get this beauty started. All right, we are going to just get right into the eyes. I've done my complexion. So I will list everything below that I put on my face. I actually am working with this new highlighter. I got a whole little cluster of them from Hourglass. So I wanted to see what it looked like. Not quite sure, but also I want to mention my hair. I just got it cut and then I washed it and I used the thickening spray that my stylist used during this. You'll see it in the Instagram reel that I did. I couldn't believe it because I was like, oh, she's using something different. And she just spritzed this on my hair. I wasn't really paying attention when it was wet. And then she blow dried it. And when she was still working on it, my hair was I felt different. And I was like, oh, and it was so high and it was so full. And I have a lot of volume to begin with, but I was just a little shocked because she said, yeah, it's nicer that you don't have to use a mousse. It's not like a lot of weight. So this is the Maximista thickening spray. I probably should have just put it on the top, just the crown. But of course I put it on everything. So my hair now is just like it's like literally like about to take off like this way. And I mean, I look like I got electrocuted, but it's fine. I think that why not? I'm open to everything. And just watch some of my upcoming videos. Like I am exploring just really interesting topics that have been on my mind. So that is coming up. So I wanted to just do my eyes so you can see that this trick is so dynamic for mature women, 50 and plus. I mean, granted, any age can use this, but I just think this really brings the eye open. And I can tell you, I was in New Jersey for a wedding last month and my mother-in-law, I was in her hotel room and I was sitting there, we were chatting and everything. And I thought, do you want your makeup done before the wedding? And I just wanted her to feel beautiful. And it was so funny because she had all her Nikol Beauty makeup, but I bought this for myself in the fall. This is it was a limited edition, which I did not know. This is a Louis Vuitton Nice BB. And it has all of I have an insert from Etsy in here that's chocolate brown too. So you can't see that, but it organizes everything. I kind of just threw some of my compacts on here, but I bring this in my carry-on with me. I will never forget any of my makeup ever again. And so I went up to my room and I brought down my makeup and I felt like this was like my little mini professional kit. Like I used to do weddings like there was no tomorrow. And I was like, this is so great. I'm bringing down like my mini little makeup kit for her. I had all my stuff and I brought the lashes. And these are the Ardell press-ons. I've talked about these before on my channel. I have never put them on. I did on Fierce Aging, but I've never put them on my mother-in-law. And I thought this would look so beautiful. She had the Sweet Carol eyeshadow palette. She loves it. And I told you before, she was only using one color. So I said, we need to use all three. This is going to look gorgeous. And these lashes are so simple for mature women. And even if you can't really see because it's already pre-glued, I'm going to show you the dramatic difference that what it looks like and how easy it is. And I just was really, really thrilled. And then I had another family member come down and she brought her lash strips. She wanted me to put them on. I said, do you really want to put the lashes on that go on top or do you want to use my fabulous Ardell press-ons? I have more. So I had brought a bunch just because I thought this trip, we were in Philly. My husband and I went to Philly first. And then we went to New Jersey to the wedding. So I thought, I would love to just kind of, do these because I have more time and being, kind of like on vacation at the wedding. So I'm going to show you the technique and what I do and what I did for her lashes. And she felt absolutely beautiful. So this is cornea care. I've been saying cornea care in my last videos for the longest time, but when I really looked at it, it's cornea care. These are just lid wipes that I bought. I have them on auto. I like to clean my eye first. I felt like my eye looked a little oily. So I'm cleaning my eye before I do my eye primer. So you're going to see that this is going to be a multi-trick kind of eye look. If you have a wedding to go to, if you have a reunion, a big birthday, you're going out on a first date, this is going to be the look. And it's not over the top. It's not like, oh no, what did you just do? I have two different ones. These are the faux mink naturals, or I have the wispy natural. Wispies are going to be like what they say, like wispier. And then I'm going to give you maybe a little bit of a close-up of these two so you can see. And these are like more dense. The faux mink are more dense. So it's up to you. They keep coming out with more and more options for us. So I think that's really great. I'm going to prep my eye with the Dr. Perry Cone. This is the eyelid lift serum. Again, this is going to be for if you have dry eyelids, you're not taking care of your eyelids, you feel like you need a little bit of tightening. Again, I do 1 drop. That's it. I've tried to do more and I have gotten myself into trouble because I don't need it in my eye. I just need it on my eye. So I start a little bit above and then I work it in. I have contacts in also. I have never had a problem with the serum. I'm going to start with my eye primer. This is going to be what's going to neutralize out your eyes. Your eyeshadow is going to look true. It's going to stay all day, all night. This is my concealer brush, just going to tap in just like this. I go from the base of my lashes right there and I bring it all the way up. I mean, this is just really my technique. I like to start in the middle and then I like to drag it down. I don't want to have a lot on the brush or just the right on the brush and start at the end or start in the corner. I don't want to have too much. Those are the areas that I want less and I want the concentration to be in the middle and then I can just pull it down into that inner corner. So you see, I go all the way up to my brow bone. I come around just like this and it's perfect. So you can see the difference between primed and unprimed. I don't want all of that darkness to be put into my eyeshadow palette. And I'm using a new eyeshadow palette. I've been working on my new colors for you. I have a little bit of a different combo than the last time that I did the green. And I want to see what it looks like, see what you think also. Just a little bit of tweaking. I'm almost there, but I just want to see what it looks like on camera, how it goes on, let you see it. You know, this is a definitely challenging job I have when I start coming out with some new colors. I want them to be perfect. They have to really just have a beautiful synergy together. So now we have the primed eyes. This is our first step to gorgeous eyes for an event, giving us this easy little trick that's going to be just really, I think it's going to really surprise you. You have to really, not so much practice, but you do have to do it before you have an event. You don't want to try to put your lashes on right before the event because you'll be frustrated. So I'm going to go in with, let me just start with the middle color. This is kind of like a little bit of a nice, beautiful sheen. And I'm doing a hybrid for you. So it's going to be a matte color, a sheen color, and then a matte. So I'm going to just take this up on my lid. You know, it's really nice. I always want you to have a color, like that middle color that you can use just by itself. And then you could evening bump it up with a little bit more of that definition color that's in the palette, the third color, because all my palettes are just 3 colors for you. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. All right, so I have the first color on. Just gonna flip the brush over and do the matte, kind of the brow bone color here. It's just a really nice neutral. I like to bring it down a little bit so I don't have any of that demarcation. Then I'm gonna take with my short smudge brush, I'm just gonna go into the kind of like a mossy green color. I wanna see what this comes out like. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a clean eyeshadow blending brush and I'm going to just softly kind of work it into this crease here. This is really just very nice. I do like the mossy look to it. I'm going to just take, you know what, I'll just take that cornea care really quickly and just clean up just a tiny bit at the end. Felt like it was going down a little bit too much. And then I really feel that with these new shadows, I don't want to see green on your eye. I want it to be, you know, just pick up that really beautiful hint of that green, that mossiness, that earthy tones. I don't want this to be, you know, where you feel that this is really a natural color. So I'm just experimenting still. I'm almost at the finish line with what I think would be the best. Now I'm going to take my Shuamura eyelash curler. This is really important. You need to get your lashes up. So I'm going to the base, just pumping a little bit so they will stay up and be opening my eye. Now, I have an option. I pulled my dark chocolate, my waterproof dark chocolate, but I can also use my green if I wanted to, or I have a deep green we came out with last year. So I could mix the two together if I wanted to, or I could just use the green. Let's do the green because I usually do my dark chocolate. And I'm going to the base of the lash right here, and I'm going to do just my similar technique. I can go a little bit thicker since I'm going to be using the lashes, but I go to the base and then I always just take it up just a little bit. This is waterproof, so you don't have a lot of time to keep playing with it. And then I'll bring it down, just tapering down. So I'm picking up beautiful green that's in here, very light. I'm going to just take the short smudge brush and just kind of just soften it a little bit. And you know, a really nice trick that I like to do also, so I'm going to take my dark chocolate and let's just do a little on top, just for a little richness. So I did just right here. So the green's still coming out down here, but I just made it a little bit darker, which I think is kind of fun. You can experiment the way you want to. You can take now the dark chocolate if you want to and just go underneath. If you wanted to have dark chocolate underneath there, more of that green on top. Just going to smooth it out just a little bit. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. Okay, so I balanced them out, did the same thing. Now we can go into our black mascara, or if you wanted to do your rich brown, you could also do that also. So I have a brown and I have a black for you to choose from. I'm going to just use black and I'm going to go to the base of the lashes. This is really important. I say put the mascara on first because then your little lashes have something to grab onto because they are basically pre-glued. That's the best part of this. You're never going to forget your glue. That's something that I've done multiple different times where I have the lashes and then I forget the glue and there's no way to put them on. So this is really takes the stress out of feeling like, oh gosh, do I have the glue? I pray that I have the glue. So lashes should be coated first with the mascara. I go to the base of the lash, just like this. It rests on my wand. I go back and forth and then I pull up. So you're going to see that it gets every single lash, all those baby ones that I have here at like the end, I can pull out also, but you have to go to the base, wiggle back and forth and pull up. It's almost like you're adding a little bit more of that liner at the base of the lash. Your mascara doesn't have to be perfect because you are putting these lashes over them. I just always think that from my experience, that they have a better time gripping when you have your mascara on. So now mascara is on. I'm going to work off of the Faux Mink Naturals. These are going to be a little bit thicker. And I've noticed too, when you travel, you have to put them in your carry-on. Don't put them in your luggage because you can see here that they get stuck to, if you can see that. Do you see how they get stuck on the little clear plastic? I don't know, for some reason they do. Just like, you don't really want that. So I've noticed that I have to just keep them in my carry-on. And the top row here is going to have for the right little inner corner, the right goes this way, the left goes this way. So you don't have a lash that's just going like this. So that is really, really nice that they did this for us, is that you have an angled for the right, angled for the left. So I always use just one in that inner corner. So it's a natural curve. And it's not like you have a right down as close as to your nose, a lash just coming straight out. So important to always have your tweezers, though. I think you always have your tweezers in your little makeup kit, but you don't want needle nose tweezers. You want the angled ones. I'm just using a little alcohol wipe to make sure that they are clean and there's nothing sticky on them, because that is very frustrating to do that and have it not come off. So I'm going to start on my right eye. I'm going to take one of the rights that is angled and I'm going to just hold it by the very tip. And then what I do is I look in the mirror, I see where I want it, And then I literally put it at the base of my lash, right? And then I let it go. Now, before I do anything, I just push it down on my tweezer, just like that. It's not perfect yet, as in it's not really clamped, but we got to just keep working because I don't want to seal it yet until I know that they're all perfect. Now, this was an 8mm. So you get 8mm, 10mm, 12, and 14. So you can build up that lash, or you can stay with just 10mm. I like to do where it's gradual, or maybe some nights I want to bring that 14 here, right where your brow arches. So you bring that 14, the highest one, to right here. So you're getting that opened eye. You don't want the really long ones at the end because you don't want to drag down the eye. I always go one last one here shorter because you want it to be lifting the eye, especially as a mature woman, not dragging it down and looking heavy. So I'm going to take another 8mm to go right next door to the angled one. So I'm going right here. So you know what the best thing about this is, ladies, is that your eye is open, okay? You don't have your eye closed trying to put something on the top and you're like, well, I can't see anything. I don't know where anything's going. You're literally looking, opening your eye and putting it underneath. And you're the one doing it, so you can trust yourself. It's not like someone else is coming towards your eye. Now let's see here. I think this one's a 12. Yeah, here, this is a 12. So I'm gonna build up. I just did 1, 8, 10, let's go to 12. Do you see how I'm building it up? Do you see how this fringe is coming up? Let's do 2 more 12s. Yep, I'll do 2 more 12s. Not doing 14s today. And then right here at the base. So it's not on that mucosal line. It's right at the base. And do you see how easy that is? It's not like I'm doing anything special. I'm literally going to the base and putting it there, and it likes to hold on. All right, we're gonna do, let's see what we did. We did those 2 12s up here. I think I can handle 1 more 12 and then I'll bring it down to a 10. Let's take the 12, put it right here. You can also layer on top of these if you want to. Look how beautiful. Look at, if I just went to an event and I was like, well, the mascara is going to be fine. Look how much more dynamic. Look how it looks like I just went and had my makeup done with this lash. Clean, simple, not heavy, not on the top, glue's not everywhere. That is the beauty of this. All right, so let me see, since he's got a little crazy, I think this is, all right, I think this is going to be a 10. We'll bring it down with a 10 right here. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to bring it down further. I don't want anything kind of like looking like it's heavy, but you get that more glamorous look. You get a darker look. I do think that they have brown in these now. So that is really kind of cool. So now what I'll do is they're on, but I want to make sure I just sandwich them just like this, lightly, nothing crazy. If you go squish down too much, it's going to squeeze onto your lid. So now I know that they're on my lashes, looking gorgeous. I mean, isn't this phenomenal? Like $12.99, going to an event, going to a red carpet, going to a reunion, going to a big birthday, and you feel just like one level above your normal makeup and your normal like kind of thing. And pictures are going to be gorgeous. So I'm going to do the other eye, and then I will do the same exact thing. I think I'm going to have to just guess with what is on this plastic, but we're going to do the same thing. Hopefully it will be the same length. I hate when they do this, but we'll try. Okay, so this is a good example of when you're at your final step and you're squeezing between your fingers like a little sandwich. This one right here created a hole. So I have a couple choices if this happens to you. I can try to straighten it out just like that. I'm just pulling on the actual lash. You know that you're pulling on the lash because you're not feeling it pulling on yours. So I can manipulate it a little bit, which is great. I can make sure the fringe is all perfect. And then if you want to, if you're like, oh, this jump is like, this is really high and this is really low, you can just put on another layer. you can put another layer on top because they just literally kind of mush together, if you will. So you have that. This one's perfect. This one's a little bit different. Could I take a little mascara and put it over? I could if I wanted to, just to lengthen this a little bit. I just don't do that because I don't want it to look chunky. I don't want it to look heavy. So now you could do, you know, a really beautiful look for your event. Let's see if we just do a little hair back, giving it that more glam look with all this height that I had. So this is not perfect, but just giving you the idea of what this looks like. You could do a little bit of a darker lip if you wanted to. You could do a French twist. And then you have this really beautiful eye that is very easy to take off. Just take a cleansing oil, a cleansing balm. You keep your eyes closed. You go over your eyes like this with the cleansing oil. You have to use an oil or a balm that's going to break down this glue. You do not pull them off like this or else you will pull off your lashes. And they can last. I did an experiment. You're not supposed to do this, but I wanted to see how long they would last. Going, you know, showering, sleeping, whatever. I had them on for 4 days. And I thought, interesting. Nothing, they didn't come off. They didn't do anything. I thought, wow, this is really exciting. You're not supposed to do that. I would say 24-hour wear, take them off. And they're so inexpensive that you can just, if you wanted to add them on every day, you could, or, you know, it's really going to be up to you. But this is the simple trick for women to really up level their makeup game for every day if you want to. If you don't want to go and get lash extensions, if you want an alternative, if you really want to just feel just glamorous and beautiful, and then you're like, you know what, I can take them off. It's not a big deal. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know, have you tried this yet? I have mentioned this multiple times here on the channel. So I'm wondering if any of you have tried this yet. I think it looked amazing on my mother-in-law. She's 80. She just looked fabulous. It was not heavy. You would have never known. She just looked so polished, so beautiful. And I really hope that you're going to try this on your next event. Let me know in the comments below. Until my next video, I'll see you later.